I want to focus on this ArriveCan scandal that seems to be dominating the House of Commons and Canadians from coast to coast. And following up on my colleague, Mr. Keurig, I'm going to be focusing in on you, Mr. Jones. It appears that you have some expertise in this particular area when it comes to technology and data and things of that nature. So at the heart of the scandal, and this may be news to you, is information. It's a lingering question that the Auditor General labored with, that despite all the material that she received from the CBSA, which didn't amount to a lot, given the shoddy paperwork and record keeping, is she was unable to determine who chose this two-person firm who received essentially $20 million of taxpayer funds for doing absolutely nothing other than connecting the CBSA with IT professionals. We have evidence to suggest that information was withheld from the Auditor General, and the information centers around one particular individual by the name of Min Doan, who happens to be the Government of Canada Chief Technology Officer. So one would think, just the label, Chief Technology Officer, that person would possess the necessary skills to retain records. But at the heart of this, mysteriously, he had 4 years' worth of relevant emails during the pandemic, when the cost of this ArriveScam scandal ballooned to over $60 million, 4 years' worth of emails constituting close to 1,700 emails in total just mysteriously disappeared. How can that happen?
Without knowing the circumstances, I can come up with a lot of different scenarios in the IT world. It could be something as simple as, and I've had this happen to me, the hard drive on my laptop failed and I lost my email. So without the specific circumstances, I don't know how to answer your question.
Okay. So that's been a lingering question. He's offered no explanation as to why he could not retrieve 4 years' worth of emails. Despite his status, he was the vice president of the CBSA at the time. He was the chief information officer as well for the CBSA. He's unable to explain that discrepancy. So the CBSA president was unable to really shed any light as to the content.
Mr. Brock, we have a point of order from Ms. Khalid. Go ahead, Ms. Khalid. I've stopped your time. You have 2 minutes left. Go ahead.
Thanks, Chair. We're just questioning relevance. I understand that the topic that Mr. Brock is highlighting is in study in a number of different committees. We are here on a very specific issue about the surveillance of government employees through government technologies with departments, and I would prefer, and I think that the community would appreciate if Mr. Brock stuck to that topic.
Well, as I've said in the past, Ms. Khalid, that I do give a lot of latitude to members to ask their questions, and I expect that they're going to come back to the topic at hand, and I'm certain that Mr. Brock will. He's done it before, so the floor is yours. You have 2 minutes, Mr. Brock. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, because I certainly don't frame my questions at the preference of the Liberal Party of Canada. Yeah. All right? So I know they want to shut this down. I know it's important for them to silence us, but I will not be silenced.
Absolutely unreasonable.
Okay, thank you for the point of order. Mr. Brock, please continue. You have the...
Thank you, Chair.
I did stop your time. I'm starting it again. You have a minute and 50 seconds.
So, Mr. Jones, I want to know what tools potentially the RCMP, who may be charged with the responsibility of investigating criminality surrounding this ArriveScam. I can think of, hearkening back to my days as a Crown attorney, what's jumping off the page is allegations of fraud, allegations of breach of trust by public official. So in your professional opinion, sir, what sort of forensic tools would be available to the RCMP to retrieve 4 years' worth of relevant emails from the Vice President of the CBSA?
My issue, honestly have never been privy to any of the investigative techniques that the RCMP use. We've always kept them at arm's length as the IT service provider. We certainly provide them with the base IT.
What kind of tools would you adopt then? If, say, for instance, Erin O'Gorman, the president of the CBSA, actually took her job seriously and wanted to retrieve these emails, what sort of tools could you adopt?
So if my colleague was asking for advice, certainly that's what we've established these contracts for in terms of the tooling that are required to retrieve information from government-owned devices. And there's a variety of tools depending on the type of device that would be used. I don't have a product list in front of me. I don't memorize, I actually never used these tools in my career.
Possible to retrieve 4 years' worth of emails?
It depends on the circumstances where they're located and how you'd have to go about them. It's always very dependent on the circumstances.
Specific?
Yes,
Case specific?
very much.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Brock. Thank you.